What's going on, guys? Happy Friday evening. We got our boy Trillo Betts is actually celebrating a birthday. Shout out to Luciana. So hope they have a good night out there. We got the crew covered tonight. We got Dante, of course. We also have Alo. What's good, baby? Alo Leagues in the house, bro. Cue the Titanic meme. It's been 84 years, son. How you been, bro?
I've been good. Just chilling. Part of the TSP crew now with Kevin, Booker, Duffy, Tyler, and me. So it's been awesome. I know we've been super focused on March Madness, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah, dude. Crazy fucking time of year. You love to see it. I love them boys over at TSP2. We're going to get into our brackets here in a minute. For sure. Dante, man, how we doing over there, bro?
Doing good. Glad it's Friday. Nice little spring break this weekend. My bracket is in the dumpster. Already looking towards next. No, just kidding. We'll be all right. I had a couple games that could have gone either way. That kind of hurt the bracket, but we still got all the big dogs in, so we'll see what happens. So I got to know, last time I talked to you, we were talking about how you were in, was it 20, if not more, fantasy leagues? How many did you win?
Out of the 30, I think like 15 I was tanking, and then the other 15 I was going all in. I think I won like 11.
Jeez.
You love this.
Yeah.
You absolutely love to see it. And that definitely, like, since we have you on, bro, like, yeah, we're going to talk some fantasy for sure. I'm excited. I know Dante, did you won a league, didn't you? Or did you come up? You took second, right? In your league?
Yeah. I think I got third, actually. I lost in the week before the finals. Got third.
In the semis.
Yeah. I only did 2 leagues this year, though, so.
And real quick, Alo, I did 3. I won 1. I took second in the other, and I took third in the other. So I was pretty happy with my fantasy season. We'll get into some fantasy here in a minute. I just wanted to quickly brush over some quick Avalanche and Nuggets real quick. Just I know this is Dante's favorite subject. He loves the Denver Nuggets. He loves the NBA. I just really want to say, after watching the Nuggets lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, this team isn't a championship team, guys. I really have seen enough. They got 12 games to prove it to me, but they got a lot of work to do. They're lazy. They turn the ball over all the time. It's just hard to watch. So going and losing to the Grizzlies was absolutely pathetic. I don't know, Alo, have you been following? Have you even had eyes on the Nuggets at all? And do you think they're a serious championship contender, or what are we doing?
Yeah, so I have been following basketball. Before we even talk about the Nuggets, how about my boy Bam with 83 points in a game? Love it. But to answer your question, man, I totally believe in the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets, besides the Pacers last year, were the only team to bring OKC to 7 games and could have easily beat them. If you have Jokic, I think you have a chance. I mean, come playoff time, I don't see anybody guarding him. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely have a chance. It's just like if you have Shea or Ant, you have a chance. So, yeah, I do think that the Nuggets could be a contender to win the championship.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a star, you should have a chance, right? And I mean, I still think Jokic is the best player in the world. I also think that this coach is a complete bum, and I think he's in over his head. I mean, we came on this podcast when Malone got fired, and we're like, bring in an adult, bring in somebody who's been there, bring in somebody who's won a championship. So yeah, we'll see how far they go. I don't see this team making it past the second round, unfortunately. But Dante, what are your thoughts on the Nuggets? Second round exit incoming?
Yeah, so they're tied, or Toronto's just took the lead 45-42, almost halftime here. Shout out Chill Bets, boots on ground, and I am pretty sure at the Nuggets games. Ev, this is my breaking point. If they do not beat the Toronto Raptors tonight, not only will I be out on the Nuggets, I think I'm going to be actively rooting against the Nuggets. So this is the last straw for me. I got them in one last parlay. That's my own fault there. I should know better, but they're the last straw here. So need the win. I've been saying for at least a month, if not longer, that this is not a good basketball team. And you, Dom, Gerald, everyone's telling me I'm crazy. You don't know NBA, whatever. And now welcome to the club. It's just how many times can they do the same thing over and over and we expect something different? So that's where I'm at with the Nuggets.
First of all, I've never come on this podcast and told you to your face as a man that this Nuggets team is... There's no fucking way. Like, I'm never going to get behind this team. I actually threw money on them that night that they lost to the Grizzlies, of course. So not a bigger Nugget hater than me right now, but they got 12 games, boys. All right, 12 games. Their schedule's really not that crazy. I know they got OKC one more time. They got San Antonio. Is San Antonio going to be resting guys at the end of the season? Probably. So real quick, 12 games left. What do they got to go to earn your trust going into the postseason, both of you guys?
They got to win at least 10. No, I'm just kidding. You do got to win some big ones, and they got to at least finish ahead of they got to make the actual playoffs and not the play-in tournament. If they're in the play-in tournament, my trust at an all-time low. But really, it's so late in the season. It's hard for them that they could do anything besides literally win like 10 or 12 and gain my full trust. If they limp 500 at the end of the season, not good. You know what I mean? And they play some good teams. They still have like the Spurs, the Thunder, a couple of good teams here to close out the season. So, they gotta stay healthy, and two, they gotta put up a fight and win some of these big games.
I agree. What do you think? What do you think, Alo, man? 12 games left, man. Give it to me. Dante joked about 10 games. I'm not even joking. I think they should win 10 games, man.
Yeah, I think the thing that's tough is that they are in the West. I mean, if they were in the East, we wouldn't even be talking about them like that. We'd be like, wow, this team really has a chance. So just being in the West is tough. But I do think if they can win, like Dante said, if they could stay out of the play-in tournament and give you like a game where they beat the Spurs and OKC, that'll give you a lot of trust going into the playoffs, you know? So it's just tough because you got the Spurs, the Lakers, the Wolves. I mean, you got so many teams fighting in the West for the three. And then of course you have OKC at the top. So it's tough.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's hard to trust this team right now. They got 12 games, like I said. There's still some time left. I got to see more. On the other hand, the Avalanche, man, this is my team. I know they keep coming up short against the Stars sometimes, most of the time, and then last year in the playoffs they got bounced by the Stars. But this is the team in Colorado that I think has the biggest chance to win a championship and bring a parade to Denver. Absolute, I wouldn't even say like a heartbreaker, but it was just a slobber knocker against the Stars the other night, Wednesday. I don't know about you, Alo, man. These late games, bro, and I know you're on the East Coast. I can't do every game, bro. So like every once in a while, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay up for this entire game. So this was a game that I stayed up for, and it was an absolute just slugfest, bro. Like these teams were absolutely going at it. Stars winning a shootout 2-1. I don't know if you're following hockey at all.
Yeah.
If you got any leads on any teams that you like to win the cup this year, what are your thoughts, man?
I was hoping my Panthers would three-peat, but there's no chance. They're at the bottom. They got a lot of injuries, but I will say I wasn't always like huge on hockey, but you know what made me really tune in this year? Dude, USA winning the hockey gold medal, man. That was awesome to watch. I mean, I even honestly, I didn't really know a lot about it, but on the TSP podcast, I predicted it correctly. So I was like really pumped. I watched that. That was an awesome game. And then I started watching a little bit more. I watched, of course, like the Stanley Cup the last 2 years because of the Panthers. So with those two things, Panthers being good and USA winning the gold medal got me really locked into some hockey. Fortunately, the Panthers sucked this year, though.
Hey, back-to-back championships, bro.
Yeah,
You got it. Come on, man. Y'all spoiled over there in Florida, man. Over there with Tampa too, man. Like they just went on that. They almost three-peated too before the Avs took them down. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that USA game, bro. Shout out, bro. That shit was so sick. I mean, I think I cracked my first drink, Alo, at like 6 a.m. It was totally diabolical. Me and the boys were going crazy. We ended up hitting the bar at like 9:30 in the morning. Didn't come home till 2:30. Wife was screaming mad. I was in the doghouse for a week, but it was worth it.
Yeah, man. That was awesome. The other thing I was gonna say is, man, I don't know if you guys tuned in to the USA Baseball Classic, man. That was heartbreaking. I watched that. Once we beat the Dominican Republic, I thought we were gonna go in there and smack Venezuela, but it didn't go like that. It did not go like that. But I was really into the Baseball Classic this year just because USA looked really good.
Yeah. I actually didn't have eyes on it. Dante, were you watching some of those games? I know you guys
Yeah.
I know you and Dom were betting on it.
Yeah, I watched both of them. So they just to recap it for you. So they lost to Italy in the pool play round, and they barely made it into the actual tournament because of that. So they either needed Italy to win or Mexico to score like 5 or 6 plus runs. So Italy ended up beating Mexico. We sneak in and we have a good game versus the Dominican Republic, who was a lot of people's favorite. Japan goes down. Venezuela kind of, I think, snuck in there. I don't think a lot of people saw them coming. And I honestly think the US overlooked them in the championship game. I mean, the odds on them were, I think, minus 250 at one point, 2-run favorites. Shocker that they lost. If it was kind of like it was 2-0 until the 8th inning. And then Bryce Harper comes on and hits a tying home run. Everyone's like, "Oh, okay, USA, we got this. We turned it on, in the bag." And then boom, here comes Venezuela, takes the lead in the ninth, and we couldn't answer. Kind of disappointing. Tariq Skubal, one of probably the best pitchers in the MLB, one of the best. He was on Team USA, but who knows if it was him? Sounds like it was maybe the Tigers wouldn't let him pitch. Apparently, a lot of the managers in the MLB were calling like the USA and Venezuela coach and being like, "Hey, my guy can't pitch even though he's on the team because he pitched for you this 2 nights ago." And the team's like obviously worried about like, "Hey, we got opening day coming up here in a couple weeks, and we need our guys for the season." So I don't think it was USA's best roster that they could have fielded. And it showed, and they lost. So shout out Venezuela bringing it home.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say, imagine Paul, which he balled out in the semifinals, and then imagine School in the finals against Venezuela. I think that's a different outcome if he's pitching, if he's a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Or if you want to drop him, either way, I think it's a different outcome.
Yep. Real quick in the X chat, we got Trillo Bets. He said, "What up, Alo? We're at the Nuggets game now. Gonna need the crew to live bet the Nuggets." Already on it, Dom. Trust me. We have already covered that base. And then what up, Dak?
Oh shit, what up, Dak? What's good, baby? Yeah. No, totally. But I will say, man, like USA, bro, tons of success for the US this year. So just because we couldn't bring it home in baseball, wasn't too discouraged. Still some tight games like you guys had mentioned. And yeah, looking forward to doing it again in 4 years. Let
And
my
then-
wife know I will be out all day.
Before we move on from the Avs, they're playing right now too. End of the second period, they're up 2-1 on the Chicago Blackhawks. So
2-1.
bounce back after that. They got beat in shootout again to the Stars 2 nights ago. Was it 2
Yeah.
nights? So that was a tough one.
Absolute kick to the nuts. And I will say this too, like the last thing on the Avalanche. It's as simple as this. If you want to win a cup, you just got to beat the Stars. That's it. Once they get past the Stars, I really don't give a shit who they face after that in the Stanley Cup. It does not matter. The Stars are the team that they've had a lot of trouble with. So beat the Stars, win a cup. That's what I'm saying. Let's go Avalanche, baby.
Bang, bang.
All right, let's get into the next segment, which obviously, man, we got our man from Florida, baby. So I got a lot of questions for you. I got a lot of questions, got a big trade to talk about, Alo, and I just want you to know that Dante wasn't very big on the trade when it happened. He wasn't very big before it happened. He was not, but now he's come around a little bit. But before that, word from our sponsor, Dante, Pens and Aces. You got that queued up?
Yep. Let's go.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Yep. Golf season coming up, boys and girls. All right, man. Make sure you hit up Pins and Aces, Inner Crew Talk at checkout. Get 20% off. I know I'll be buying some shirts. I got some stuff to get before the upcoming season. Don't even golf that much, but I will be out there a couple times, boys. I need to start working on my game. Hello, are you golfing out there, man, in Florida?
No, I do like the range though. I do like to see how far I can hit it. But we do have a lot of spots where you can golf. I mean, honestly, like I live like 10 minutes away from the beach, maybe even closer. And through that whole strip, bunch of golfing.
Yeah,
It's Florida, you know
Yeah.
how that goes. Of course, it's
Hey,
everywhere.
Alo out there just absolutely hitting piss missiles one after another in Florida. You love to see it. Let's get on to it, boys. All right, I want to talk. So those of y'all that are just joining us, you don't know, man, our guy down there in Florida, Alo, he is a Miami Dolphins fan, man. So
Fortunately.
hey, so first, before we get into the big trade between the Dolphins and the Denver Broncos, man, talk to me about this rebuild that the Dolphins are going through, man. Do you think it's warranted? Did you think it was time? And what do you think about the Packers just sending everybody over to you guys?
I mean, the Packers have been a great organization for a long time, so I don't mind it. Keep giving us that because we obviously have not been able to do it on our own. I will say I do appreciate the rebuild. I honestly thought we were going to hold on to Tua another year, maybe two, because just we owe him the money, but I think it was time to go. He's not the guy. I wasn't personally all in on Tua. I wanted Justin Herbert. I definitely was not trying to give Tua $230 million. That's for sure. I don't think a lot of fans wanted that, but I do like the way we're going. You know, we're selling a lot of the pieces. We're getting rid of players that we know we need to get rid of and start all over. I think maybe 2028 we could start, winning a couple games, but I think we should definitely tank this year.
I know they fired the GM obviously mid-season. They do end up letting McDaniel go. A lot of people weren't sure about that one. Ayla, whose decision was it to pay Tua? Well, was that on the GM? Was it McDaniel? Was it coach? Because that's the Dolphins made the playoffs. Obviously, they beat the Broncos 100 to 120. It was crazy. And then from that game, the two organizations just went complete opposite directions. Denver's been getting better and better and better, and Miami just has been plummeting. Whose fault was that?
Well, I'll start with the Denver part. Like, I think getting Bo Nix and Sean Payton is, you got the quarterback and you got the coach. You're doing great if you got those two things. And in your case, you guys got a defense as well. But for the Dolphins, I think the problem was that Tua did really, really good under Mike McDaniels. And then the GM was like, hey, man, if I want to keep keeping my job, I got to give this man the money. And, at that time, I'm not going to say he deserves it, but they saw like the potential with Waddle and Tyreek out there and him. But I think it was both parties. I think the owner obviously was like, yeah, give him the money. Because, I mean, you guys know, like Dak, I just saw it on the top of it. We haven't had a good quarterback since Dan Marino. So when Tua comes out there doing what he did, it looks really, really good. And unfortunately for like us, we haven't had great quarterbacks like the Packers and the Broncos. So once we see something nice, we're like, oh, let's just pay it. But it was a huge mistake, obviously, now that we look back on it.
Yeah,
Right.
he also says, oh, sorry, wrong one. Might be. Might be. He says, mute Dante for bringing up that travesty. Yes. Dante said 120 to 20, or 100 to 20. It might as well have been. That was a horrible, horrible day for Broncos country. But I mean, like you said, we did go the opposite direction. Both teams are going in the opposite directions. I think it's kind of hard, man. Like when you bring up like, hey, we have given Tua that contract. I mean, that's just what teams do when you think you have your franchise quarterback. That's just the going rate for a quarterback. That's just what you're gonna do. I myself, when they were like, oh man, Tua's gonna get 200 million, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
probably shouldn't. But I mean, did we know, they would be parting ways with him? Did Arizona know they were gonna be parting ways with Kyler Murray? I guess not at the time, but I mean, I guess that's just the way it is. Let me ask you, man, like, do you have faith in this new coaching staff? And what are your thoughts on Malik Willis as far as being a starter for the next few years?
Yeah. So, well, I was going to answer the other part where you said 100 to 20. I'd rather get beat 100 to 20 and know that the next 5 years are going to be beautiful. That's just me. But
That's fair.
I do believe that the Dolphins are. I like what they're doing so far. I like how they're from the Packers. I like how he had that defense going until Michael Parsons went down. I like the GM, but I will say I don't know. I like Malik Willis because we got him at a good price. But I'm more like, man, 2027 is going to be rich for quarterbacks. Like, it's going to be an amazing QB draft. And I just want like the best. I mean, Dante Moore, Arch Manning, of course, even Julian Sand. I mean, it's just going to be a perfect time for you to get that franchise quarterback. And I just think getting Malik Willis kind of hurts that, because I do think he's going to be more productive than Ewers and Tua was. So I think they'll win a lot more games than they should. And, we got the Jets in our division, so we're beating them. But yeah, I think that's going to hurt us in getting that top three quarterback. So
Wouldn't you rather just almost get Minshew or, Geno Smith,
yeah,
one of these quarterbacks, completely tank? Or are you like confident, hey, maybe Malik Willis is the guy long term, Which is, if that's the case, it's tough because you're doing nothing to help him out, including, hey, here's your best receiver, gone, send him away. So they're obviously not really acting like Willis is the future, but they paid him a decent amount. I mean, it could have been more for sure, but that's a pretty steep contract for a guy like him, I'd say.
Starting money, Alo, from Malik Willis, man. So
Not tank
yeah,
one either.
yeah,
yeah.
it's competitive money, right? It's like we're gonna be competitive. That's what I'm seeing. And I mean, you guys got a shitload of draft picks. Um, what do you? Go ahead,
No, I
Alo.
was just gonna say it's a lot of draft picks, but in a draft that's not so great. I know they say like the third and fourth round is the best of the draft, but I will say the thing that I hope they do, they need to get Tate or Lemon, to get that wide receiver one. You do have a chain. You get Malik Willis, and honestly, if Malik Willis is him and does a good job, I mean, you could possibly get Jeremiah Smith next year or Ryan Williams, and that I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. I mean, Malik Willis is only 26 years old. They did put themselves in a good situation though, because if they do suck, they could get one of the three quarterbacks, hopefully.
Well, dude, I've seen drafts or mock drafts where I've seen the Dolphins take two receivers.
Yeah.
Like Makai Lemon and Denzel Boston, or Makai Lemon and Omar Cooper Jr. So yeah, I'm with you though. I mean, dude, I like you said, I like this 2027 draft a lot more for wide receiver prospects, quarterbacks, etc. What's the deal? I guess I'll ask, like, is Achan getting traded, dude, or like is because they're saying he's untouchable. Is he not? Is Achan getting traded?
If I was the GM, I would trade him. One thing is with running backs, once they hit 20, especially him, he gets hurt a lot. But I will say, like, with a lot of running backs, they start to tear down at like 28. And yeah, he's 24. He's about to be 25. But what? When we're good, he's going to be 28, 29, 30. So it's like, you know what I mean? His stock right now is up. I've heard like maybe we could get a first and a second, or possibly two firsts. I
Sell
mean,
high, right?
if they want to get a chain, they might pay us. So
That's what I'm saying, man. The price, like, all right, like seeing what Denver gave up for Waddle, right? It's gonna be double for Achan, man. Like, I could see like if you're a team picking at the end of the first, or like from in the 20s, like, bro, two firsts for Achan, that would be my price if I'm the Dolphins. Like, bro, you're giving me two first round picks. I mean, like, maybe if it's a shittier team and they're picking in the top 10, maybe it's one first and then something else, but it's going to be more than it's, dude, like, he's a beast, bro. Like, we single-handedly see, like, when Tua got hurt, like, that offense would just run through Achan, bro. So
I mean, the good question to ask you is, like, let's say you guys didn't trade for Waddle and you traded for a chain. Would you be mad that you gave the 30th pick and the 2027 pick up for a chain? Probably not. I mean,
no.
that'd be great. Same thing with like the Seahawks. Imagine the Seahawks. You think they care?
Yeah,
Now that
though
they
that's
lost Walker?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, like, after we traded for Waddle, we'll get into Waddle in a second, but I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, what you know what do they want for Achan too, man? Like, hey, we'll give you our 2027 first. We'll give you what else you want? Marvin Mims, like, hey, man, Achan's an absolute monster, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts on Achan, Dante?
Yeah, I mean, I like Achan. That's the hope, is that Harvey could be like a poor man's version of him, right? With the pass catching out of the backfield. He's had a little bit of injury problems though. When I feel like that'd be a scary combination of Achan and Dobbins. We'd be like, oh my God, which one's going down today? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Running back's a position where I don't mind investing a first round draft pick in a wide receiver, because there's no one we could have drafted in the first round as good as Waddle. So that's our first round pick. I know we got third too, but if it was HN, that'd be a little steep for me, because I feel like you can get a running back that's not too much of a drop off in the draft, or obviously free agency we didn't, but I feel like there were some guys there. Call me crazy, I'd rather have Kenneth Walker.
All I'm saying is you're high off your ass. I would rather have Achan all day, every day of the week. Dude, I drafted him in a non-PPR league and he helped me win a championship. That's how much of a beast that motherfucker is, bro. He's just a total dog. But let's get into it, man. Real quick. Big trade. Denver. He said, oh, yeah. Yeah, shout out Dak. My son said waddle up. You heard it. Yes, sir. Jalen Waddle goes from the Miami Dolphins to our Denver Broncos for a first and a third and then a fourth round pick swap. First of all, can you tell us a bit about Waddle and what the Denver Broncos are getting in a wide receiver?
Yeah, of course. So his first 3 years, he had 1,000 yards, and in 2022, he had 1,356 yards. His fourth year wasn't the best; it was 779 yards. He did get a little banged up, and this last year, I mean, for this man to have 915 yards receiving, I think Tua look awful and Ewers out there. I think you guys are getting a stud. I think you guys are getting a wide receiver one. I mean, you guys had Bo Nix go, 28 touchdowns and 7 picks his first year. And then now you had him last year, 25 touchdowns and 11 picks with the wide receivers he had. Now he has Sutton, he has Waddle, he has Franklin that becomes third, and then you could maybe add Mims in there. I mean, that's looking really nice. And you guys almost beat the Patriots without Bo Nix. So do I think Waddle helps? Absolutely. The one thing that I do thinks helps a lot is Waddle's going to take it down the field. I mean, even on a screen pass, a slant, he could take it to the house. And I think that's really going to help Bo Nix. Yeah, I think it's an awesome trade for you guys. And I don't think you guys gave a lot up. I know a lot of people are saying you gave a 2026 first, a third, and a fourth. But, dude, honestly, I'd rather have your 2027 first just because of the draft class. But you guys kind of got a steal out of that because, you gave us a pick.
But yeah,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
that's where I'm at. It's like like everyone's like, "Oh, you gave up a first rounder." I'm like, "Dude, it's practically a second round pick." Like at that
Mm,
point, like when you're picking that deep in the first.
yeah,
And I mean, we had another fourth rounder as it was. So we went from picking 94th in the third round to 108 or 111, sorry. So, and we already have a 108 pick. So we pick 108 in the fourth and 111. I guarantee you they're bunching those to move up into the third in the draft. But
And we've been talking about, Ayla mentioned it, like everyone said, this isn't the best draft class. It's more on next year. Well, then who cares if we don't have a pick in this draft? You know what I mean? We've all been talking about reaching at pick 30 for which second rounder do we want to take in the first round because we're just going to reach and take a guy that'll be there. You know, it's like, and we're not going to draft anyone better with that pick better than Waddle. So, you know, Denver fans, they cry we don't pick anyone up, do this and that, and then they cry we gave up too much. So I kind of get tired of that because it's like, just be happy. And, you know, I wanted AJ Brown over Jalen Waddle, but I'm not going to sit here and be upset we got Jalen Waddle. I mean, that's still better than what we had and a clear upgrade, you can argue number one or number two receiver, but perfect compliment to Courtland Sutton.
yeah, that's what I'm saying too. And forgive me, I did not know Jalen Waddle was this slight. Like he doesn't look 5'10", 185 out there on the field, man. Like he looks a little bit bigger than that, but that motherfucker can fly, dude. I mean, 4.37. I think what is it? He ran at the combine. So I agree with the ALO. I mean, look, man, 910 yards with the quarterback play that Tua was producing with, and Quinn Ewers is insane. So are you saying that he steps in immediately and he is wide receiver one in Denver?
absolutely. I mean, I will say, I know Dante will probably say this, and you will too. Just that Bo Nix and Sutton chemistry right now, but I just think Waddle is like super elite. I mean, unfortunately for him, if you go and watch, I mean, I watched the Dolphins games, unfortunately, but if you go back and look, there was times where Ewers and Tua completely missed him, and he could have had 1,000 yards. I mean, off the one catch. So to me, I don't think Bo Nix is going to miss like that. I think you guys are going to get a lot more opportunity on offense just because your defense is nasty. So yeah, I think he's going to go in there and be wide receiver one, or dude, maybe 1A, 1B, which is not a problem. Like if you're arguing to see which one's wide receiver one and they're both producing is awesome.
I would rather
Yeah.
Waddle be number one because Broncos fans know the ups and downs with Courtland Sutton. And on top of it, Bo Nix, he likes to throw deep. He wants to throw deep. And he just, for whatever reason, the chemistry between Franklin, who they were college teammates, so you'd think it'd be there, Mims, we do not have the deep ball down for whatever reason. So that's what excites me about Waddle is this guy is a deep ball specialist. I mean, he's fast, he's big. You know, let Courtland Sutton do the dirty work on third downs and kind of over the middle, and that's his game. He's great at it. But Waddle can be a guy that really pushes the ball downfield for us, which is gonna be nice.
Yeah, I think so. Like real quick, like the duo of Waddle and Sutton, man, in the NFL, man, is it? What would you say? Like, I know. It's not Jamar, it's not T Higgins, it's not CD, it's not Pickens. But anything past that, like, I mean, are they right up there with kind of like AJ Brown, Devonta Smith? What are your thoughts, man, on this wide receiver duo in Denver?
Yeah, it's top five for me. I mean, you put in, like you said, Jason Higgins for me, CD Lamb and Pickens, Puka and Adams. I think those three are by far ahead. I just
Hmm.
put AJ Brown and Devontae Smith ahead just because they've won a Super Bowl. But I'm
Belts on
gonna
the wall.
you
Yeah.
you guys are gonna surpass them because I don't think AJ Brown's there after June 1st. I think after June 1st he's traded. So but let's say he stays. You're looking at top five wide receiver duo.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And you guys were 3 points away or a touchdown away from making a Super Bowl. So like, yeah, I honestly think you definitely for the Broncos definitely did what they needed to do because that was their weakest position. I believe that was their weakest position was wide receiver, and you guys fixed that in the offseason. He got wide receiver one, a great player. So yeah, I honestly think, man, I don't know, man. I think Bo Nix wins MVP if he stays healthy.
This might be the piece that pushes him over the edge to be like an over 4,000 yard receivers or 4,000 yard a passer. So hopefully, I mean that's where I'm leaning. This kind of feels a lot like Emmanuel Sanders and Demarius Thomas to me. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Broncos pairing, and he has the exact same size as Emmanuel Sanders practically. So I love it. I was super pumped when this happened, man. I don't know if you were all on X and like during the NFL first stages of NFL free agency, Broncos fans were tearing their fucking hair out to the point where it's like, dude, like Sean Payton had to like block like anybody from coming at him on Twitter because I guarantee you Broncos fans were just coming at him hard, bro. So
Yeah, at Crew Talk Sports was.
yeah, me do something, motherfucker.
Yeah, but
Jesus, like
let me ask you a question. Like everybody was getting him at that are Broncos fans, but what did you want him to get in free agency? I mean, the best option was probably Mike Evans, right? Wendell Robinson. I don't know. I think he did the best thing possible. He traded for Waddle. I mean, the best thing possible would have been Waddle or AJ Brown. I don't think anybody in free agency would have been a better option, to be honest.
I was just more
Yeah.
like depth. We wanted depth signings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
why bring back Troutman when you could have, Chigo Okonkwo or somebody like that, or why bring back Jaleel McLaughlin when you could have Brian Robinson Jr. or something like that, like just like we're not asking them to break the bank, but it's like you bring back literally everybody that you brought back last or that you had last season when we were watching these games, bro, and there was a lot of comebacks, a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, a lot of one score wins, man. And like, it's just hard to win and replicate that the year afterwards. We saw it with the Chiefs year before last, where they went 15-2. Then they lose in the Super Bowl to the Eagles. And then what happens this year? Right. So I think Broncos country was a little bit like, yo, like we can upgrade the depth, and that's all we were getting at. But I think like the splashy move was like, hey, like we came on this podcast, we're like, hey man, make one move and all is forgiven, and then that's what they did. So do you think we've seen the best of Jalen Waddle, or do you think that there's still more to his game?
No, I think we haven't seen the best yet. He's only 27. He's got what I think is a top 5 QB in my opinion. I mean, like I said, I truly believe that Bo Nix makes the Super Bowl if he does not get hurt. The Broncos make it. I truly believe that the Broncos put up a fight against the Seahawks just because they both had a great defense. And Bo Nix, for some reason, I don't care what he does the first 3 quarters. He reminds me a little bit of Mahomes. He will ball out in the fourth quarter. I mean, just look at the Eagles game and look at the Giants game. I will say that I think Waddle, in my personal opinion, puts them over the hump, and I think he gets like 1,400 to 1,500 yards this season.
Wow.
That would be absolutely incredible. It's actually crazy. That was next in the show notes. Waddle 2026 projections, 14 to 1,500 yards, man. If that happens, Bo's over 4,000 yards for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want him to get 1,000. That's like if he can get 1,000 yards, and let's say Sutton can get 1,000, if not close to, because the thing with Denver is that we have Franklin, Mims, Bryant. So I feel like these guys are going to be coming on and off the field. So if you have multiple receivers getting 1,000 yards, which as much as Nick likes to spread it out and move, everyone kind of gets their fair share. He doesn't really look one way too much. So I think that'd be a really good mile marker, 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I also was going to say to add on to that, I don't think that there's a more complete team in the AFC than the Broncos. I think the only team that would really, I don't want to say scared you, just if you have Mahomes, you have Mahomes type of thing, because I've seen him have trash cans and win a Super Bowl at wide receiver. But I will say, though, the most complete team is definitely the Broncos in the AFC. If you were to go down by each team, they're just the most complete team, to be honest.
It's funny how we added one player and everyone's outlook on the Broncos season next year is completely changed, because now it's like, hey, we already got all the dogs back and now we just got a good wide receiver. Let's go. Versus before, I was like, what are we doing re-signing all these guys? I think the one thing Denver had learned from the Dolphins and some of these teams is like, hey, when your quarterback's on a rookie deal, you have a good team, you got to strike. So
Yeah.
my thing is, we don't have time to bring a bunch of dudes in and draft a bunch of players and get them up on the system. And these guys know the system. They know what's going on. Now's the time to prove it and get it done, because we're going to have to pay Bo in a couple years. And then we know what that's, we're not going to be able to afford some of these guys because Bo's getting more money, which is, the Dolphins. And also, I wanted to say the Dolphins, I think they learned from the Broncos a little bit with Russell Wilson of like, hey, this dude ain't it. We're moving a different direction. Let's just cut ties, eat the dead cap, and move on versus just having this guy stick around just to stick around. I feel bad for the Falcons. They've got now 2 of the most injured quarterbacks ever. No idea what the game plan is there. Maybe like, hey,
Bro, can you imagine? Like, Alo, man, come on, bro. It's like, man, you got Penix with no ACLs left, and you got fucking God bless Tua, dude, who's just brain of scrambled eggs, bro. I'm sorry, you can't tell me differently. That poor kid. I put that kid into the box, man. Put him into the media. He'd be great. But yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like that's when I'm like, hey man, it could be worse. It could be worse. At least we're not the Falcons, man. So
Hey man, I wish I wish Kyler Murray would have went to the Saints because that'd be the smallest QB division. You got Bryce, Baker, and Tua.
dude, it's insane. Like, do you think Tua wins that job outright?
Yeah, I do. Just because Tua is consistent in the way where he's gonna be accurate. Michael Penix, man, he had a bad injury. I don't think he comes back right away. I think that's the problem. He doesn't come back right away, and the division's kind of it's kind of mid. So I mean, with
Yeah.
the Dolphins and Tua, you had to go up against Josh Allen and the Bills, and now the Patriots. But now that he's in that division, I don't know. I don't know. Can he be like besides Baker the second best quarterback? And he's got the best offensive line he's ever had, and he's got a couple weapons. So yeah, I could definitely see him having that starting job right away, but mostly because of the Penix injury.
And it's like, what do you have in common? A great running back. And Bijan, I would say, I mean, we're taking him over HN, and nobody loves HN more than me. So yeah, no, I that would be. I don't hate it because I mean, like you said, man, can you trust Michael Penix and his injury history? Where does Kirk Cousins end up, boys? Like, where the fuck is he gonna go?
I think he ends up on the Browns. Honestly,
No,
listen. They love adding quarterbacks. They just love
don't do
having
that to Kirk.
quarterbacks.
Not my boy Kirk, man.
Where do you think he goes?
I mean, I'm surprised the Eagles didn't take him because Howie Roseman can't fucking help himself. Like, this guy is just making trades every single day, and I love it, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
I think maybe if I'm Kirk, I just hold out and wait for a quarterback to get injured and try and go to a
Yeah.
contender. You know what I mean? I honestly thought he'd have been a good fit back at the Vikings. Kyler Murray there doesn't make much sense to me. I think the Falcons and the Vikings are going to be two interesting quarterback battles to watch. Same with the Jets, as they're playing really Geno Smith. I mean, Cousins could go to the Jets and start. I don't know what they're doing. Quarterback's tough, and the Broncos re-signed Sam Ellinger, right? I don't know if that was, I don't know, really. I thought maybe that was just like a tell we were going to be getting rid of Stidham, but that does not seem like the case. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but Denver is, when they said run it back, they meant it.
Yeah, I feel like you and the Jets gonna be going for the Manning Bowl next year. Is that what's going on? You and the Jets,
Yeah, man. Cardinals too. I mean,
Cardinals.
but you low key though, Brissett balling out some games, man. He's gonna
Hey,
win games.
for fantasy purposes, baby, he was great.
And Minshew, right? Isn't that who else they got?
Yeah. They signed up for a year.
Yeah, it's like, are you trying to tank? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. No. Yeah, well, let's get into it, man. Some fantasy talk because we haven't had you on since last season. You know, we had you on, we brought you on quite a bit as our fantasy guru. Man, what stuck out to you the most in the 2025 fantasy season, bro? I thought for the most part, like a lot of our guys that we liked were pretty successful. I know one stuck out that me and you were high on, BTJ. God damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk to me about like overall your overall thoughts on the 2025 fantasy season.
Yeah. I mean, winning 11 championships, I take it as like a good thing. But I will say there's, like you said, BTJ. Neighbors going down really sucked, man. I had neighbors in so many leagues. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did. I thought the other one that stuck out was, dude, getting JSN in like the 4th round was big. Whether it was redraft or Dynasty probably went a little earlier, but getting him that at that time and getting him there, that was crazy because he was wide receiver 1.
He single-handedly carried Trillo Betts to a championship in my the money league that I won or that I run. So that was huge. And real quick on Malik Neighbors, dude, I was relying on him heavily in Dynasty. So when he went down, it was like bad news bears, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know who else I was? Dude, he was going in like the 10th round. Sam Darnold coming out here, balling out, winning the Super Bowl was crazy. Obviously, Puka, awesome. Can't complain. Chase, but I just thought the Darnold winning the Super Bowl and being productive, giving you a Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson, Baker, and Josh
Allen
was crazy to me. That's off season, but who disappointed me was Michael Penix. In fantasy, he definitely disappointed me. Jaden Daniels disappointed me. I mean, I've told a lot of people that Is he talented? Absolutely, but he's so fragile. He gets hurt a lot.
Yes.
That's just me. I know a lot of people argued with me, especially when he went to the NFC Championship. But I just saw that. Another person that disappointed me. I mean, this man just can't get out of trouble, dude. Rashee Rice. I mean, he just in trouble all the time. Tyreek Hill going down, breaking his leg. Definitely.
Real quick on that. Tyreek Hill, is he making a comeback or is he donezo?
Think he makes a comeback just at the end of the year. I think with the injury he got, he won't be like 100% to like the end of the year. But I mean, look at it this way: like, what happens if like the Chiefs get him? What happens if like the Eagles get him? Because we know that Howie likes to make some crazy stuff, like you said. I mean, those two teams I see, even the Broncos. Like, what about if you guys give him, not that much money for a year and he helps y'all? I mean, he's not the talent was still there. He just had Tua as his quarterback. He was in a tough situation.
Do all right, real quick, I want to answer from both of you boys. Call your shot right now, and we will not hold it against you for here at Crew Talk Sports. We don't do that. We just make you chug a buzz ball if you're wrong. Where does Tyreek play in 2026?
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I
If
mean,
not the Chiefs, the Ravens.
Yeah.
or like that's where receivers go to die. They go to the Titans or they go to the Ravens.
Yeah.
So
I think
what
it's
about the Bills?
Be a good
Little
fit.
sweet revenge there. Little to get
like-
back at the. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the Bills. I just think I'm super high on the Chiefs just because, like I said earlier, Rice can't stay out of trouble.
Which hey,
That's the problem.
we talked about Dynasty earlier. I had Rice as well. So I got Rice, I got Neighbors, and I got Drake London. And then Drake London was having a great season, and then he gets hurt. I'm like, Jesus, man, like couldn't get out of my own way. Yeah, we'll monitor Tyreek. I think he did post like that Snapchat where he was like back in Kansas City, and it was like, oh, what's going on? I think that would be the right place for him, honestly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Dante.
I was gonna you talked about some guys that surprised you. For me, a sleeper was RJ Harvey. Fantasy wise, I'm looking at the numbers here. RJ Harvey finished with more fantasy points than Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf. So this was a guy that people were getting. Obviously, in Denver drafts, he went a little bit higher just because we're all homers. But fifth, sixth round, the second Dobbins got hurt, he kind of skyrocketed at a huge second half of the season. This was a guy that was on a lot of winning team rosters just because he was the only option for Denver for the whole second half of the seasons. That's why fantasy is so hard because, like Justin Jefferson, I don't think he missed any time, but when you don't have a quarterback, receiver is just such a quarterback dependent position. It's hard to, a lot of big names don't always produce.
But you look at Jefferson, he's still at 1,000 yards, and I'm like, how? Like
2 touchdowns, I think.
I have a friend, shout out to my boy Josh, who's a Minnesota Viking fan, and as soon as they signed Kyler, I was like, better get your Kyler Murray jersey on order, bro. And he was just like, hey man, I was like, all I need you to let me know is Jefferson back? Is he back in first round conversation in fantasy? And he said, hey man, he had 1,000 yards with the worst QB play in the NFL. So what's he gonna do with Kyler Murray? And I'm like, I don't trust Kyler Murray still.
I was gonna say, I mean, Dante hit it on the nail. Like, players I'm out in 2026 is Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, Justin Fields, Justin Jefferson, and CD. And with Jefferson, it has nothing to do with talent. It has to do with QB play. Let's ask Marvin Harrison about Kyler Murray because he couldn't see him down the field at all. He can't see down the field. He's 5. This man said he's 5'10". Come on. He's smaller than all three of us. Then you add CD Lamb. It's nothing to do with talent. I think CD Lamb is awesome. I just think George Pickens is right there with them. It's like they said, 1A, 1A. I truly believe that. And I think it takes away targets from him.
He was on my list too. I'm not touching CeeDee Lamb again. I am not spending a first round pick on CeeDee Lamb ever again. I did it twice in a row, Alo. Twice in a row. So this last season, I did it. I picked him number 2. I was like, oh yeah, having Pickens is going to be great. It's going to, open up the field. And it wasn't bad, but it didn't warrant spending a first round pick on him at all. So I'm with you, man. And I think you're right. As long as Pickens is there, dog, it's like how far in the draft this year would CD have to fall for you to consider taking him?
I took him in a draft, in an early draft we did, but he fell to like 205. So
So
I
like
just said 205. Yeah.
middle of the second round.
Yeah, if he's like 204, 205, I'm taking him. I'm not letting him go at 204, 204, 205. But I could see where the first round, no way.
Yeah, I agree, man. What are your thoughts on CD, Dante?
I mean, it's just there's not a lot of good top end wide receivers. That's what we kind of realized with Denver trying to acquire one of these guys is it's I trust CD more than I trust Pickens to have another year like he did. I think, I mean, Pickens is good, but I don't know. The Cowboys, though, they've made some improvements. It's tough to say because the draft's going to tell us a lot too. Like some of these teams, if they go out and draft a wide receiver, you're like, oh, okay, something's up here. The Cowboys are one of those teams where you think they've got two elite wide receivers, but if they go invest in another position at wide receiver, tells you one of those guys because Pickens is on his franchise tag, right? So between
Yeah.
CD and Pickens, one of them might not be back following this season. So we'll see what happens there. I'm still taking him end of the first round for sure. Not over Puka like this year.
Yeah, speaking of the Cowboys, real quick. Also, Alo, Puka fucking Nakua, non-PPR league that I'm in, big money league. Took him in the second round, won me a championship in a non-PPR
Bro.
league. That's how much of a fucking monster he is.
Yeah, if that man's healthy, he's wide receiver 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, agreed. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, player that surprised. What about Javonte motherfucking Williams?
Yeah,
Who saw the Cowboys
what I was
have
gonna
a
say.
running game? The Cowboys,
I
dude,
was
he
gonna say
snagged.
that.
You know how many goal line touchdowns from CeeDee Lamb he sniped? Millions.
Yeah, no, it's funny you said that because I had him on my list. I had Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Kenneth Walker, obviously MVP. You got to give it to me, won the Super Bowl MVP. I think Brock Bowers this year coming up, but Colston Loveland, man, he's going to be a star. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, Luther Burden is going to be that wide receiver too, which is true. But I think they were willing to give up DJ Moore because of Loveland.
Yeah, I mean, Dante came on this podcast and was like, "Hey, or was it Dak? Was it Dak that said trade for Cole Kmet?"
But I think we both wanted him. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that.
Dak and Dante were like, "Hey, Broncos, go get Cole Kmet, man. If they got Colston Loveland, man, there's too many mouths to feed over there in Chicago. An abundance of weapons. What? Quick, while we're on the Bears, who emerges as wide receiver 1 in Chicago, fantasy wise?
Like I think it should be wrong, but honestly, man, I think it's going to be Loveland. I think that's going to be Caleb Williams' favorite target, especially because he's the tight end. He's a safety blanket, but now you have Burden down the field. You have Rome giving you the tough catches, like a Mike Evans kind of type, and then now you have, or you could put Loveland anywhere. He's a dog. I do think Loveland will be their number 1 target.
Yeah, I think Loveland is what everyone wanted Evan Ingram to be this year for the Broncos. That's why they keep Kmet because they're both tight ends, but they play completely different styles and they have different games. But the Bears are one of those teams too where I think they might draft another receiver this year too, just because I think they want to have 3 solid options. But Dunze's been good. He's come on. Burden had a pretty good rookie season, but I'm a little bit worried about the Bears and their pass catchers just because sometimes if you have Denver had this problem last year. You've got 3, 4 good guys. You don't have any great guys. You know what I mean? So that's something to watch out for.
It's kind of one of those offenses where it's like you never know who's going to go up. Anyone can go up any given week.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like
fantasy purposes for sure.
So it's tough to trust, man. Are there any players, Alo, that you're just stoked to draft in 2026?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. My number 1 guy is Neighbors. I think Neighbors didn't really get the chance to play with Dart. John Harbaugh's coming in there. Dude, Cam Scatterbo, I really want to see coming back. A lot of people are saying that the Giants are going to get Love. I don't think they do that. I actually think the Titans are going to take Love, to be honest with you. And
That would be smart.
Even if they don't, I still don't think the Giants do that. I think they go Tate or they go offensive line. But honestly, man, I want to see Scatterbo go out there and just freaking head truck somebody. Honestly, bro, it's so fun to watch him. And then Neighbors, I love watching Neighbors. I mean, he's a dog. We saw him do that with some bum quarterbacks, and now he's finally gonna get to play with the star quarterback. So I really, really am excited to draft Dart. I do like the Gibbs right now. I mean, you don't have Montgomery no more. You do have Pacheco, but Pacheco's not on Montgomery's level, in my opinion. I think Gibbs is going to get a lot of carries.
Yeah.
He's going to give you the CMC, which I was going to get to. CMC last year, dude, he won people leagues. I mean,
Yes, He
I remember
did.
I remember trying to trade everybody. Like, thank God everybody said no. There was points where I'm like, yo, give me a first. I'll take a late first from McCaffrey. Like, dude, I'll take 2 seconds. And everybody was like, nah, I'm not touching him. Thank God, because I won championship because of it. Like, CMC is a freaking dog. He's my number one draft pick this year. I mean, if
So
he's
you think
healthy, he's
you
everything.
you think he's gonna put 2 back-to-back healthy seasons, fantasy seasons together? You're crazy.
I think he does only because a lot of the pressure won't be on him as much anymore. I think getting Mike Evans helps. I think that's going to be big for them because they relied so much on CMC, especially because Purdy got hurt too. I mean, dude, I don't know how first of all, I don't know how they got to the playoffs, and I don't know how they beat the Eagles, but I can tell you one thing: CMC deserved MVP for that team. I mean, he did everything for them, even when Mac Jones was out there, which he played good, but it was really CMC, man. I just think if he can have another healthy team, like or another healthy year, if everybody's healthy, I just think he's the best player.
One guy that definitely benefited Bijan Robinson because now Tyler Allgeier's gone, and he stole so many goal line touchdowns, and they'd put him
Yeah,
in. Algier got a lot of playing time, so if the Falcons don't get a quality backup, Bijan is a guy that could really eat next year and have a big season after, I think, his best season of his career. The Lions are a team for me that I'm really fading next year. Their offense was horrible this year. I don't know what they're doing. A lot of got to kind of prove it to me with the Lions and as far as their offense goes compared to what they've been.
Ben Johnson made a big difference, didn't he?
yes,
Yeah,
he did.
he did. I think
They're seeing that now. They're seeing that now for sure.
yeah. Another one, the Jags. I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, I think, him and Stafford were the top 2 fantasy quarterbacks last year. You lose Etienne, I think that's a huge loss for them. Especially they're obviously going to have to be looking towards the draft for running back. They didn't sign anybody. Travis Hunter, they said is going to be playing a little bit more cornerback. Is what I think I saw.
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers, Ryan Thomas, what's he doing? So the Jags are one where I'm going to make them prove it to me 2 years in a row.
I don't think I'm going after, like, actively seeking any Jaguars in drafts. Like, I think it's more of like, "Hey, man, is Tootin here?
Right.
Alright." I'll gamble on Tootin, I'll gamble on Parker Washington, who was dude, that motherfucker was producing
yes,
towards the end of the year.
absolutely.
But I like you said, we gotta let the draft play out. They're for sure taking a running back, like you said, Dante. So, yeah. No, I mean, like we said, like, we gotta let the draft play out, but I'll be with Dante. Like, Bijan, he's my number one just because, like you said, Algier is gone. The Lions signed Pacheco. He's gonna be stealing some goal line from Jameer Gibbs for sure. I don't think he's as good as Montgomery. I don't think.
No, I don't either.
But, I would rather just, like, we'll see, like, Atlanta's probably bringing in a rookie, and is a
Yeah,
rookie really gonna trump? I think Atlanta's looking at it like Bijan is our best player. The offense is gonna run through this guy. And if Tua is the starter, we've seen him do it with Achan too, right? So
yeah. Honestly, the Neighbors is my favorite, but if I had a sneaky pick, you guys aren't gonna love this one. It's just the situation. First, I think this team wants to get away from relying so much on Mahomes. And bro, there's nobody in that backfield for Kenneth Walker to have to like share with. I mean, Kenneth Walker is really good. He's only 25. His only issue was him and Charbonnet. We didn't know who was going to get the ball, but there's no issue anymore. He's on that backfield with the Chiefs. Nobody. It's now that they got rid of Pacheco, I could see him being a stud in fantasy to take.
they're gonna run him into the absolute
Yeah,
ground.
Trust me,
absolutely.
we know what he's going to do. A lot of us wanted Walker big time, and the Chiefs are like anywhere but the Chiefs. That was the one spot we didn't want him to go. So
But no way is Walker a first round pick, right? Beginning of second.
No. Maybe beginning of third and maybe the end of the second. I would think.
yeah,
I think though, like by next year, we're gonna all be like, dang, we should have took him in like the middle of the second or beginning of the second, just because nobody's fighting him with touches. That's the thing. And
Re-
Mahomes we don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I have Walker in Dynasty Halo. So tell me why I shouldn't make some offers to try to flip Kenneth Walker. And what do you think I can get for Kenneth Walker in Dynasty?
I mean, with Dynasty, it's a little different. If your teams win now, I wouldn't trade them. If your team is like in the middle and you could get like maybe some people get hungry in Dynasty, man. They'll give you 2 firsts won first this year, it's late, and then the next year first thinking they're gonna win the whole thing, and then it ends up being like a top 6 first, I would take that. But if your teams win now, I'm not getting rid of Walker because like you just said, they're gonna run him into the ground. We don't know when Mahomes is coming back. And when he does come back, do they really want to run Mahomes into the ground? Bro, Mahomes was their leading rusher for them. That's crazy to me. And now you have Walker, you got to utilize him. And I would not trade him if your team is a top playoff team. No.
Yeah, I was in the championship last year, but the thing is like
I'm not trading Walker.
I limped to the finish line, completely ran out of gas, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I might field some offers for Walker, but I
definitely see
I'm
what you
with
can
you.
get. Definitely see what you can get for sure.
Yeah,
And he's only
for
25,
sure.
man. He's only 25.
Gonna be torturing the Broncos for the next 3 years, probably. God damn it! You hate to see it. Yeah, just completely ridiculous. Yeah, looking forward to this 2026 fantasy season, man. Like, we got to find a way to get Alo and Dante into the TSP Dynasty Campus to Can League, bro. Have you heard about this shit? Alo, why aren't you in it, bro? What is going on?
I don't know, man, but I would definitely love to be in it. I don't want to speak for Dante, but I'm pretty sure he'd love to be in it too.
Yeah, I'm taking Gerald's team. He doesn't know yet, but I'm taking it.
Yeah, I feel like there's one of my other friends, Matt, who's probably gonna be like, nah, man. So if we got teams available, we gotta figure this out. We gotta keep this going. My only gripe is TSP. We gotta up the buy-in, son, because it is tons of work. But we'll talk about that at another point. Anything else, man? Fantasy wise, boys? Anything at all? Because I'm ready. I'm locked in. As soon as the draft is done, I'm gonna be doing mock drafts.
Yeah,
we'll be doing mock drafts on here. But anything else with fantasy, boys?
I wasn't gonna say it. I mean, it ties into fantasy. I was just gonna ask you guys, what do you think? Best offensive playmaker will be in the NFL draft. Like, if you had to pick one player that you think is gonna be a star, who do you think that is? I got mine.
Who do you got?
Me? Oh, I just think what this team has done so far and who they hired, I'm going to go Fernando Mendoza. I think Fernando Mendoza gets on the level of Joe Burrow. I really do. I know a lot of people get on me for it, but I just think the way he is, what they're doing, what the Raider organization is doing, I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, well,
I know
here's
you guys
the thing
want to hear that.
with the Raiders. They could have the best team ever and they'll still blow it. But no, you're right, Alo. I mean, I drafted Genty in fantasy this year because I was pretty high on him and he got a pretty disappointing season for where he was getting drafted. I'm just, fantasy aside, what the Raiders are building, you got Bowers, you got some good wide receivers, quality wide receivers, and then now you plug in Mendoza with Genty. They got a recipe that they could get good quick. Mendoza, he's like Kirk Cousins 2.0. I'm not, I'm glad he's gonna be a Raider because it's gonna be easy to hate on that stupid, cheesy face of his and all this stupid post game talk. So I'm glad he's gonna be a Raider because it'll be easy to root against him. But I don't know. You gotta prove it to me. We've seen that jump from the college to the NFL. It's no joke. So I'm not buying a Mendoza jersey yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
If Mendoza was going to like a winning franchise, I'd be like, okay, maybe I could see that. I don't see it, Alo. I don't. Nicest kid ever.
Yeah, nice guy for sure.
I just think that he gets hit in the face by Nick Bonito, and it's just like, dude.
It's like the Jets. They just always find a way to mess it up.
Like the Raiders, yeah. Like, hey,
just act Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, like Mendoza will go somewhere else in 8 years and win a Super Bowl. Like that's just, yeah. I don't know. We'll see, man. Like you said, man, this quarterback class this year is pretty uninspiring, but there's gonna be a couple that end up being starters, right? So, any other names besides Mendoza that you kind of been looking at, like maybe Drew LR or I'm seeing maybe Cole Payton from North Dakota State pick up a little bit of steam.
That's who I want.
I'm gonna go Ty Simpson because I think Ty Simpson goes to the Rams, and if he goes to the Rams, I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that have talent that can't be good on the Rams. I mean, the Rams with Sean McVay, he might have me out there looking decent.
That would be a great pick by the Rams. I'm with you.
I think Ty Simpson at 13, I know it's not because the Rams absolutely need nothing right now. There's no real position that they really need. So
especially with the trade with the Chiefs. Trey McDuffie.
Yeah, so why not go and, this is the time where you could, because they're not drafting 13 again. They're not drafting 13 next year. So yeah, try to get Ty Simpson for your future.
At 13 though?
Yeah, I mean, what like
Quarterbacks are
I
a
mean,
premium.
if you don't get Ty Simpson, you're gonna go wide receiver. But I think Devontae Adams has like 3 more years. I mean, he hasn't shown any slowdown, and he doesn't have to be wide receiver one. We know Puka's wide receiver one.
Well, apparently the Rams are in on AJ Brown too.
Yeah, and let's say they do get AJ Brown, then what? Then Devontae Adams is your third, and AJ Brown's only 28. So to me, it's like, getting Dart at 26, everybody was like, "Oh, the Giants, what are they doing?" Look at them now. I don't think when you're a quarterback, it's like you don't have talent. I think it's situation. I think it's where you go. It all depends
Absolutely.
where you go. Look at Sam Darnold is a perfect example. Like if Sam Darnold would have went to the 49ers, he would have been good. We would not even be talking about Darnold like that.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, if he didn't go, and he still did good on the Browns, which is surprising. But if they all would have went to, like you said, winning organizations, we wouldn't be having these conversations. So I think if you could go to a winning organization, and especially one with Sean McVay to help you become the quarterback, and you learn from Matthew Stafford, and you're only 20, 22, I think the sky's the limit for you.
All this draft talk just makes me more. I'm bummed. I'm bummed that the Broncos don't have a first round pick anymore. But you know what? It's all right because we got our boy Jalen Waddle, and I know
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna be
got
rooting for
Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. Are you drafting any shares of Jalen Waddle before we move on?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm a Dolphins fan at heart, but I want to win leagues. I'm not gonna stay away from Jalen Waddle because he's not on the Dolphins. I mean, I draft players from I draft Drake May, and I hate the Patriots, but I'm not drafting Drake May because of that. There's no way.
Do you think the Patriots come back to earth a little bit this year?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. If they can't get AJ Brown, I don't think they win the division. I would give the division to the Bills.
Yeah. What do you think, Dante?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the draft's going to tell me a lot with the Bills and the wide receiver position. I know they got DJ Moore, but I'm not like sold on that. If AJ Brown does go to the Patriots, that's going to be crazy for that division too, or with Bills and Patriots. But I think the AFC is a little bit of an arms race. You got the Broncos, the Chargers, the Chiefs, they're all reloading. You got the Patriots and Bills are going to be in it. I really like what the Steelers have done so far this offseason. The Ravens, we talked about how last year there was no Mahomes, no Lamar. So it was really Josh Allen's biggest or best chance. And then you get Knicks playing spoiler and all that. The AFC is going to be super fun to watch. And then you got to have like the Raiders who are on the come up. The Bengals, do they bounce back? Do they figure out how to play defense and actually tackle somebody? The AFC is scary. It's competitive, and Denver's window, it's tiny. It's a little small window out the back of the house. This ain't the front door window, so we need to make the most of it.
Yeah, Go ahead, Alo.
Well, I was just gonna ask Dante because he was naming the Chargers, the Chiefs, in the AFC West. Do you think that's the toughest division in football?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, was it NFC North used to be, you've got the Bears, the Lions, Packers, Vikings. But I feel like
for sure,
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos are all better than those teams.
Yeah.
That might be the most competitive one, top to bottom. And if the Raiders do take a step up, then who knows? But I mean, not every division can be the AFC South. You know what I mean? So, or the NFC South.
Both of them suck.
Yeah, they both suck.
If this ain't the year for the Bills, I mean, they got that new stadium.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, man. I'm just so tired of picking the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. The year that I don't pick them, which is probably going to be this year, they're probably going to go. So we'll see what happens. It should be exciting. Definitely keep it locked here, man. For fantasy, Alo, we gotta have you on more for fantasy, boy. Like I'm telling you, your boy. Yeah, I got a freaking solid gold belt over here. I got a Lombardi. Your boy ate this season, so it was a good fantasy season. I can't wait to do some mock drafts with you for sure. Before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit of March Madness. Then we got some NASCAR and some weekend bets. So what are your latest thoughts on March Madness, boys? I'll let you guys take this one away.
Yeah, it's been a good tournament so far. My bracket is not doing very good. Alo, I think you said you're in the same boat. Ev, your bracket's doing good. Shout out to the Crew Talk Sports Bracket Challenge. Ev was top 5 last I looked. Couple upsets. Obviously, yesterday Wisconsin gets beat by High Point. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
I don't know any games that really stood out to you, Alo.
I think it was St. Louis stomping Georgia 2 to
Yes.
7.
I
That
was on
was nuts.
Georgia. Surprised me.
The one game that I love so far, my favorite game was, man, Santa Clara versus Kentucky. What a freaking game, dude. The last 24 seconds, Santa
Yes.
Clara hit 3. They're up. I'm thinking, oh my God, they beat Kentucky. Freaking dude hits almost a half court shot, goes in, and Kentucky wins in overtime. That was a thriller. I love that. And dude, Duke, what was it? Siena? I think it's Siena. Dude, they only lost by 6 points. I thought they were gonna pull it off. I wanted them to beat Duke so bad.
Yeah. That was
And
a
you said
close one.
Wisconsin. Yeah. Yeah, I think VCU beat Texas, right?
Yeah.
Or no. Yeah.
VC
Who did they beat? VC. Oh no, North Carolina. They beat them in overtime. Yeah.
So North Carolina was up 19 points. VCU stormed back to beat them. I had North Carolina in my bracket, of course. Texas beat BYU. That was
That's
an
what it was.
11-6 upset. South Florida almost beat Louisville. That was a close game. I was on South Florida. I thought they could pull it off. Not so much. The other one that really just shocks me, Troy and Nebraska, 76-47. I thought Troy could beat these guys. No, demolished.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look here. Iowa State, just they're dominating. Kentucky, Santa Clara, though I had Santa Clara. I really thought that was gonna be a big upset pick. Nope. Texas Tech has looked good, so I'm excited. It's gonna be a good weekend. Tennessee, Virginia is gonna be a great game. Kentucky, Iowa State, Nebraska, Vanderbilt. Shout out Trill Betts. His Sparty's taking on Louisville. So we got a lot of really good second round matchups. Don't sleep on Utah State at Arizona. And then Duke and TCU. I was on TCU. They looked good against Ohio State. They played great defense. Duke's banged up. I got my eye close on that one tomorrow, just because, some of these Giants, these number 1 seeds, we've seen they can slip up. So it's going to be a good weekend of college basketball. We'll see who comes out of it alive. I know I had a much better day today than yesterday, that's for sure, but the bracket is not doing good.
Do you know what your rank is, Dante? Real quick. While he's looking up that piss poor rank, Alo, what you got, bro?
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna ask you guys no matter how many brackets you've done, who do you have in the championship and who wins for March Madness? I got Michigan versus Florida, and I got Florida winning the whole thing. The Gators.
Florida was my preseason pick, and then they've kind of struggled down the stretch, so I changed it. I got Duke in Arizona, and I got Arizona winning it all. There's 28 people on our Crew Talk bracket challenge, only allowed 1 bracket. Evan is tied for 4th, 1 game out of the lead, and I am in 18th. I am 3 games back, 4 games back. So we've made some progress.
That's not terrible, boys.
I was 25th last night.
Hey, progress, baby.
In the TSP bracket, I'm 113th out of 130.
God damn.
Wait, you two are in that one too?
Yeah.
I'm 12.
What are you at, Dark? Oh, that's not bad.
I'm 94th.
Oh yeah, your boy's cooking.
Okay,
So,
I got a couple games to go my way.
Boys, the shitty thing is, usually, each bracket, I'll do different teams. I'll do different winners, right? But I couldn't figure out how to do it this year. Every time I joined a group, it just logged in the first bracket that I had filled out. So I just rocked with it. So I have the same bracket in all 3 groups, but my work group size 60, I'm ranked 3rd.
Nice.
So your boy's right there. 3rd, 4th, and 12th, which means it's all going to shit within the next couple of days, and I'm going to be at bottom of the barrel.
It's almost better just to have 1 bracket. Hey, here it is. Because, then you're like, oh, I'm rooting for this team in this bracket and this team in this bracket. And, just here's my bracket, for better or for worse. Here it is. But, it's the best time of the year, March Madness. So I'm going to enjoy this weekend with some more college hoops, that's for sure.
Yeah, what you got on tap for the rest of the weekend, Halo?
I'm watching my Canes tonight. Well, they're playing right now.
Yeah, what's the score on that game?
It's it's 27-26. I think the Canes are. I think it's halftime.
Who are they playing, Halo?
They're playing Missouri, and it's halftime.
It's in St. Louis, so dang near a home game for Missouri. That's when that's going to be a good one. I think Miami's a better team, but I could see Missouri pulling off the pulling off the win just because of the geographical advantage.
Well, don't sugarcoat it, Dante. You picked Missouri, you fucker.
I know I did.
I'm rolling with the.
I picked.
I'm rolling with the U, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
I only
Throw it
picked it
up.
because it was in St. Louis. Damn it!
Hey,
You're a sicko.
I will say the Gators, the team I picked to win the whole thing, is winning 77-33, but they are playing
Yeah.
Perry.
Oof.
I don't know who the heck that is.
T's
but
and P's to Prairie View. They're getting belt to ass right now.
Absolute bloodbath. Dante, real quick before we get out of here, do you have any updates on the Nuggets and the Avs?
Yes. Speaking of belt to ass, Nuggets up 4-1 on the Blackhawks. And in typical Nuggets fashion, we're tied 101 with 4 minutes left.
You'd love to see it. Oh, I can't wait to sweat this one out. Any NASCAR bets, bro?
Yeah, Darlington this weekend. So my last 3 weeks, I've gotten a second and 2 firsts, 2 in a row on the winners. Darlington's like the hardest track. It's gonna be crazy. It's a real crapshoot. 3 guys I'm watching is Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, and then Denny Hamlin back to back. So we'll see what happens. I'll put out my bets as always, but I've been on a little years in NASCAR, so
you just can't help yourself with Denny Hamlin, dude.
He won last week.
I don't care.
Sorry,
I don't care.
Winners.
He's old. He's
he
too
is
old,
dude. That's Michael Jordan's boy. You watch you were putting some respect on his name.
You're right. Michael Jordan's cars have been on fire. So yeah, keep it locked here for your NASCAR bets. Keep it locked here for your fantasy coming up this season, man. We're gonna be locked in. We gotta do some work with TSP, Alo. Maybe some mock drafts.
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
What I'm saying? That would be great. But otherwise, man, it was great to have you on, man. It's been way too long. Dude, you were on board, man, at the beginning of the season saying Bo Nix is him, and I wasn't. I was a man that I was like, I got to see more. I'm scarred, but I'm not scarred anymore. It was a total heartbreak having him go out the way he did. I was actually at that AFC Championship, Alo, freezing my ass off. Yeah, I went up. I woke up and went to Mexico the next day, so wasn't bad. wasn't a bad way to end the football season, but
no,
I will say this. It's fucking hard to go to the AFC Championship in the AFC. Do I think the Patriots are going back next year? No. Do I think the Broncos are going back? We'll see. But all I do know is hope your Dolphins can rebuild quickly because we care about you over here at Crew Talk Sports. Anything else? Closing statements, boys?
No, I was just going to say, hey, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. It has been a while. Can't wait to be back more. And hopefully we could get together with TSP and all of us and do some mock drafts and stuff. Hopefully me and Dante can slip into that Dynasty league. But no, it's always a pleasure being on here, man. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we're going to pull some strings to get you in the Dynasty league because, good Lord, we need more dudes that know ball in that league. So, yeah, can't wait. All right, Dante, what you got for me?
Yeah, just have a good weekend. Great sports weekend with March Madness going on. Some good NASCAR racing. These off seasons are tough. We're watching the Avs, Nuggets. Just enjoy it. Spring cleaning, nice weather. I've been cleaning the garage and doing all the things now that the weather's nice.
Dante, getting ready to have your next kid, bro.
I'm nesting, yes. And, dude, tell you what, these mice are out of control, dude. My garage, oh, my God. I might have to get a cat or something, bro. I can't take it anymore.
Yes. Yeah. Get a cat, dude. That's a great idea.
Yeah, great idea. Just another
don't
thing
don't let the mouse in the house, bro. That shit scared the shit out of me with my first timeline.
Yeah.
Don't do mouse. Don't do mice.
And
I can't do it.
I'll do a mouse any day. Thank God I'm not in Florida, Alo. If I see a snake, I'm lighting fire to the house, burning it down, moving states.
Or
no
or
can do
gator.
On snakes.
Yeah, or gator. A snake here and there, but you be seeing a gator up close. I mean, there's times where I live in a community like townhouses, and I've seen a gator or two. So I can only imagine out there, especially Okeechobee. But you'll see a bunch of gators.
Is it kind of like out here, like when we see a mountain lion, it's like make yourself big, make a lot of noise. Do you do the same thing against gators out there in Florida?
Nah, man. I pray to God that thing don't see me the other way. I'm not trying to act bigger than it. I'm not trying to fight it.
You're supposed to run diagonal, right?
I'm soft, and I'm not gonna try to get at you.
Love it. Yeah, man. Good shit. Dante, you got the outro?
Yes. Thanks for tuning in,
boys.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our YouTube. We've been putting out some more content on there. Dom put out an awesome March Madness preview. Really good. Fill out your brackets. Yeah, check out the YouTube. A lot more, and the TikTok. A lot more stuff going on both of those. So appreciate it.
Yeah. Peace out, guys.
Not yet. Hold on.